Hey, this is Dave from metalepidemic.com. Thank you for checking out our YouTube video. Please feel free to hit the subscribe button below if you like this type of content, and we hope you enjoy the review. What's up, guys? Dave and Duncan here from Metal Epidemic, back with another album review. And for this review, we've been checking out the new album from Jacksonville rap metal band Limp Bizkit. The band's new album, Still Sucks, is out now on Suretone Records. So, first album, 10 years.
Uh-huh.
An album that's apparently been in progress for 10 years.
Has it fuck? But like, there's things when talking about this, I think you have to separate the personalities from the music and the rhetoric from the music, because they're very, very, very good at keeping interest on them when nothing is happening. So,
absolutely, yeah.
I mean, you wouldn't want. I'm surprised. Like, we were chatting. I'm gonna shots fired at Kyle, who's not here, and Kyle's like that. They've been working on it for years, and I'm like, if you're Wes Borland and some journalist asks you, are you working actively on music? You say yes. Otherwise, why are they interviewing you? No, I've not been doing anything musical. No, instead of taking up pottery. Do you want to ask questions about that, Mr. Loud Sound fucking reporter? No. So, of course, you have to keep interest. Like, as soon as you stop talking about the thing that is your meal ticket, it dries up. So, 10 years in the making. Has it fucked? But they have a new album out.
Yeah.
It came out in October, not September, which is kind of funny. That's an in-joke.
Yeah.
Like, no one will get that except me and you, Dave, but it was funny. It was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, so Wes basically said that they'd been in multiple studios over the years. They'd written somewhere in the region of 35 songs, or the music for 35 songs, that they then managed to kind of whittle down to 12. I say they, probably Fred. But as you say, after listening to this, I'm not too sure if I completely believe that, Wes, to be honest. But
I mean, they may have written the riffs for this.
That's possible.
Years ago. I mean, that's completely conceivable. The lyrics for this have been written very close to now. So, yes. I mean, from his perspective, he's probably been churning out. Feels like a creative guy. He's probably been churning out riffs for days. And he's probably been in a studio. So, possibly. With his guitar. Probably a home studio. But like, lyrically, this is not a it's not making reference to things that happened 10 years ago. So we know for a fact that side of things is very current. So
yeah. However, like most Limp Bizkit albums, this is very kind of light-hearted. They're not taking themselves seriously.
Still sucks.
I kind of like the fact that they are fully aware of what they're doing here. They're quite happy to take the piss out of themselves and be intentionally kind of corny. They are fully in on the joke here. The song track 4, Turn It Up Bitch, makes reference to new metal one-hit wonders. Yeah. So they out and out call themselves the king of new metal on that track. Yeah, and that is a moniker that pretty much everyone that's ever been associated with that genre has tried to avoid using, and they lean into it. And you will get mad props and respect from me when you lean into the thing that made you famous. So true. Yeah. They don't give a fuck, basically, as Fred says numerous times throughout this album.
Yes.
Is it a good album though? That is the question. After the shit show that was Gold Cobra,
I don't mind Gold Cobra. Gold Cobra's got 5 great songs in it. The rest is shite.
5?
5.
That's a stretch. That's a stretch.
5.
But,
I can't believe you're discounting the classic douchebag. I'm gonna knock you out. It's a great song.
Debatable. So
I saw them on that tour.
Did you?
Yeah, I saw them play with Korn on that tour. Like that was we're going back a while now. I was still too old to be at a Limp Bizkit concert. And they were great live. I'll give them that. They are fucking awesome live.
Yeah.
They're a band that knows exactly. They've got the audience in the palm of their hand all the way through it. But yeah, Gold Grower wasn't. But is it as bad as results may vary, Dave? Question mark.
Oh, no, that's a different review in itself. That
it's a podcast topic. We'll one day
could be,
or a Twitch live stream. We may have to rank the Limp Bizkit albums.
Yes, we could do that. So I think for me, this one, part of this album feels like solid Limp Bizkit tracks and could be classed as actual full songs.
Plus 4 tracks.
And yes, yep. If I'm honest, when I stuck this on for the first time, I thought, when this kicked in, I thought, wait a minute, Limp Bizkit might have actually pulled this out the bag here. Like, this isn't bad at all. Like, the first 4 tracks on this have really good vocal hooks. They have, the kind of usual kind of Wes Borland style riffs, very like plenty of whammy bar and all that, the big bends. Out of Style is the first track, kicks off, has a great groove to it, a good bounce. The chorus is catchy, guitars sound thick, which is to be fair, something they always manage to pull off. I've never really hated a production on their albums.
No, their productions, and it's spot on with this. It's absolutely 100% spot on.
Yeah. Although, does he have to shout out DJ Lethal on every album? Is that
yes?
In case we forget, he's
otherwise
not on the album.
You may forget he's there, Dave. DJ Lethal doesn't do a lot on this album, by the way.
No.
DJ Lethal is fucking slumming it. he's
phoning it in. He's
100%.
Hey guys.
He's at 100% because he's part of that. Shots fired to the DJ players here. He's part of an ilk of musicians that are maybe no longer required. A lot of that stuff can be done elsewhere now.
Yeah, true.
But he's brilliant live. Like, once again, you see their live stuff. They did that Lollapalooza set. It was Lollapalooza, I think. And he's up there, like, once again, audience in the palm of his hand, playing other people's music.
Yeah.
Like a DJ. He's So, but he doesn't do much on the song.
No. Track 2, Dirty Rotten Biscuit. Very kind of hot dog style riff to begin with. Like, love it. Very similar. But it soon switches into another kind of like bounce heavy track with Fred again delivering another kind of vocal earworm.
Chorus is catchy as fuck.
Yeah, absolutely is, 100%. Has all the usual kind of typical traits of a Limp Bizkit track. DJ Lethal doing his tried and tested scratching over the top, but it's fun. It's got big riffs and it's catchy. It's what you want from Limp Bizkit. They don't need to reinvent the wheel. Dad Vibes had already heard, obviously.
I fucking love Dad Vibes. I unabashedly, unashamedly love Dad Vibes.
The first time I heard it, I wasn't that excited by it at all.
It's just so simple. It's like the most simple. It's simple and it's short, and that's what I want from a Limp Bizkit song. I don't want fucking 5 minutes. Why you want to hate me? I don't want that pish. What I want is a 2-minute song that does all the quirky goofiness, gives me my catchy chorus, gives me my horrible fucking Fred Durst lyrics about fucking gorillas in the mist and rocking in on a rhino and all this shit. Like, I don't want that. I want goofiness, I want fun, I want quirk, and I want it gone. And Dad Vibes, tick, 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 tick.
Yeah, it totally grew on me though. When I heard it on the album, I started to like it even more. And the more I listened to it, I was like, actually, this isn't bad. I don't mind this track, actually. And then the 4th track was Turn It Up Bitch, which is
like 90s hip hop.
It's Cypress Hill. It's Cypress Hill.
Yeah,
That's exactly what it sounds like.
It's very Cypress Hill, actually.
Yeah, 100%.
I loved it, loved it.
Yeah, I liked it as well. I'm a big like early 90s Cypress Hill albums. I thought fucking are bitching albums, so I wasn't complaining at that at all.
Which is ironic because the next song is Don't Change, which is kind of my feelings on the album. I was like that, don't change, Fred, please. And then he was like that, you know what? Let's do some stuff that has not been successful for this band on other albums. Yeah. Like whenever they go down this road, that's when they lose people. And it's not like the In Together Nows or My Ways or things like that, where it's still very much a new metal song, but it's their version of a ballad. This one is just middling pish. It's such an uninspired song.
I don't mind the original. Like, I quite like the NXS original.
Yeah, but it's just like, why cover it? Why cover it this way?
I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence about it. I don't think it's the worst cover they've ever done.
No.
I don't think they've done anything particularly interesting with it apart from make it slightly more mellow.
Yeah.
And it does come in a bit of a weird place on the album as well.
Should be the last song, if anything. Put it there so we don't have to listen to it.
Yeah, absolutely. After that though, like I could let that slide. Like I was like, okay, it's not great, but it's not terrible.
Yeah.
After that, track 6 is where my enjoyment just faded.
Could you see that it brought out the worst in you, Dave?
Kinda did, Duncan. The album for me just takes a nosedive at this point. The remaining tracks on this album felt like a band that maybe had an idea for a song, but never really fleshed it out.
There's a couple of highlights. I would say there's a couple of things which I think sound interesting, but no full songs that I enjoy.
Yeah.
So it's not even just necessarily ideas. Like it's just like there's a kind of lack of direction towards the end of the album, which if you're going with what Wes Borland is saying, kind of makes sense. If this is a guy writing music over the space of 10 years, riff-wise, this kind of makes sense because one day you feel less Limp Bizkit than you did the day before, which maybe explains Love the Hate, which I mean is like why it's even on here. It's like a watered down All in the Family. It really is. It's like, but it's like treading water.
Very tongue in cheek.
Yeah, Barnacle. I like the concept of it. I like the idea of it's like a gold digger basically.
It's kind of grungy. I thought like
it kind of has a grungy vibe to it, but it doesn't really. My issue. We've spoken about this before in other reviews. I'm all for bands playing different things. I like that. I think, like, especially if you can show me a la a 12-foot ninja, when you're listening to their music and they spring out a bit of Latino Cuban music, and you're like, oh fuck! But what they do is they make it fit their style, and that's what works. When you listen to Barnacle, which has those grungy undertones, it's like the shittest grunge.
Yeah.
It's not good grunge.
No.
So why is it there? Like, if you want to write a grunge song, you better make it the best grunge song I've ever heard. Otherwise, why is it on the album? And then that's not really... Like Empty Hole is tongue-in-cheek as ever I heard the fucking song. It's clearly... I know you're winking a nudge. But like you said, it feels like there's an idea there, or a conceptual idea, and the rest doesn't fit around it. Pill Popper is having its cake and trying to eat it by directly making a political stance against Big Pharma, I think. Certainly that's essentially what the soundbite they used at the beginning. I was like, oh fuck, we're going quite serious. And then the song kicks in, I'm like, maybe don't understand the opioid epidemic, Limp Bizkit. Snacky Poo like almost made me want to throw the fucking... It's just, once again, like the Limp Bizkit think they're sublime now.
I think they maybe do.
Well, because that's kind of what it reminded me of the kind of the full-on stoner moments at Sublime, and then Goodbye kicks in. And Goodbye's not a bad song, but like
it feels like a bit of a piss take as well, though. Like
it does, yeah. But then
it's like a pop R&B type track.
How much of this? So this is what I was saying at the start. You have to separate the music from the band in a lot of respects when it comes to Limp Bizkit. Fred Durst has always played into, he knows for a fact, the more controversial or the more things he can say that gets attention on him, the more his music sells. And I'll be honest with you, like, that is more relevant now in the digital age than it is like, well, it was like if I didn't hate, if I hated a band, I would not spend £15 on their album. If I pay for a Spotify subscription, ain't costing me anything to click that download for a Limp Bizkit album. You know what I mean? It is, but it isn't. You know what I mean? It is. On paper it is, but during the moment, ain't costing me a thing. Costing me the effort it takes to press download. And as a result of that, the more he can do this sort of... Someone posted on one of my podcast pages that Fred Durst might be one of the smartest marketers of a band in modern times. And I think that's right. Because I think that's what he does. I think by calling it Still Sucks, by leaning into a lot of the stuff that the community as a whole hate about Limp Bizkit, is ultimately the thing that's going to get people talking. Like the idea of releasing this on Halloween, like on a Sunday. It's like all that, like his new look, which he looks like an extra from a Beastie Boys music video, like that. All of this kind of feels like not a box ticking exercise, but we can do whatever we want and this will still sell millions. And guess what? This will still sell millions, regardless what people say about it. And the frustrating thing about it is that, like we said before, those first 4 songs encapsulate the Limp Bizkit that, whether you like them or not, is the interesting part of Limp Bizkit. It's the bit that makes you want to party. It's the bit that makes you want to put the bims in that mosh pit, Dave. You know, like it's all those things that, for better or worse, are Limp Bizkit. The rest of the album is all the stuff that, to be honest, no one cared about, no one was really interested about. And at their age now, doing the stuff they're doing, if you're touring if you're coming back after a decade to tour an album that has songs that fit in with the classic Limp Bizkit stuff, why not just make this an EP? Why not just make this an EP and have it as the first 5 songs? You have your NXS cover at the end to close it out, and your first 4 songs give enough there for you to justify your full tour, because they ain't playing most of what's on this album live.
No.
It ain't happening. So, you know, it covers that, and at the same time, you know, critically, it'll be well received. It's not going to be like album of the year material, but it is going to have people saying this is the Limp Bizkit that fans of the band want to hear, as opposed to the back. Almost 2/3. Its saving grace is it's 30 minutes long.
True. Yeah.
And you can get through those first 4 songs in about 10 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So 1/3 of this album, really, really interesting from the point of view of this is what Limp Bizkit sound like in 2021. I'm kind of down with that. And the rest of the album is this is what sound. I don't know if I can get.
I also feel like kind of Wes Borland is, and I know he's like the main.
He's a lazy fuck.
The second half of the album, he is totally underutilized. Like he's a very good guitarist. He's one of the better guitarists from that kind of new metal era.
Yep.
But it sounds like he's hardly even on the second half of the album. Yeah. That trademark
might
style
not be.
and sound is practically non-existent.
He might not be.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Fred Durst also plays guitar, which like that was a shock for me, but he actually also plays guitar. So it would not surprise me if the shit we're hearing later on is I don't know. I like I say, I don't know what. A part of me has to resign myself to the fact. What's interesting about this is on the same night that this is being recorded, we've recorded a review of the new Piston Razors album, which had a longer hiatus in between. And there's a band that I've not missed a beat at all. You know, just like captured that sound and ran with it. No fucks given.
Yeah.
And a lot of respects, Limp Bizkit kind of feel at times kind of cringy to listen to, and not cringy in a way where like that, you listen to Limp Bizkit, as in like I'm listening to it and I'm going, this just isn't very good.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that I keep leaning back on, is that I don't know what I expect Limp Bizkit. I never, like after fucking Chocolate Starfish and the hot dog flavoured water, I never thought in 2021 I would still be talking about Limp Bizkit. And it's not a terrible album. It's not an amazing album. It's got the songs, but it's not an amazing album. Never thought I'd still be talking about them.
Yeah.
And the reason I never thought it was because I genuinely thought that by the time 2021 come out, they'd be a bit cringy to listen to. And a lot of this album is really cringy to listen to. And it's hard to get away from that. And I feel like it's a missed opportunity, because when they're on this album, they're on. You know, it's cool to listen to. If I was in a nightclub, you know, a metal nightclub, and fucking dad vibes come on, I would be up on the floor like a fucking arsehole, but I would do it anyway.
Like a dad.
Like a dad, up there doing a wee bit of dad dancing, all my drink. But, you know, like when you listen to like things like Empty Hole or fucking Snacky Poo, I'm just like, what are we doing? Yeah. Like, Fred Durst must be 50. What are we doing here, Fred Durst? What the fuck are we doing here? don't know. I don't know. It's a surprisingly baffling album.
Yeah.
That and I was hyped as fuck for it because Dad Vibes had me in. Like from the first time I heard that, I was like, give me an album with Dad Vibes and I'm a happy fucking camper. And I did not get that.
Yeah. No, we did not.
No.
Yeah. I don't even know what else there is to say about it, really. I think it's just like the first 4 songs, but the second half of this just feels partly pointless and just completely disjointed, both musically and tonally. It doesn't feel like an album I've been working on for 10 years. It feels rushed and more like it felt like almost like that second half almost felt like a handful of B-sides or rarities or something like that. It just they just didn't feel fully kind of fleshed out songs, but production decent. Some of the riffs,
I love the production on this. I really, really do. I think, like you said before, especially at the beginning of the album, when they hit those big jumping, bouncy riffs, it sounds just as good as it ever did. So
yeah, Dirty Rotten Biscuit sounds meaty. Like the guitar tone is thick as anything. And as you say, it's a good length. Like it doesn't overstay its
bass guitar. Let's talk about. In fact, there's another point.
Yeah,
that's what they had. They had their bassist, whose name escapes me. I can't remember his name. Ooh. Sam Rivers was the drummer.
No, that's Sam Rivers.
Is that a bass player? It's John Otto was the drummer.
Yeah.
Sam Rivers, right, is the bass player.
Yeah.
You listen to that early stuff. He's up. He's playing it. He's like proper hip hop bass, and it's fucking great.
Yeah.
Where is that on this album? Not there. He's still in the band.
Is he still in the band?
He's still in the band. Yeah. He's still in the band. I think it's like the Lollapalooza footage of them. Everyone was there apart from John Otto, who's still in the band but took a hiatus, I believe. But yeah, it's still the same lineup.
Weird.
But you would not know, like you say later on, that it's like, where is Wes Borland? Where is Sam Rivers? Where is DJ Lethal? It's the Fred show towards the end, and the Fred show ain't great.
No, it is not. Ratings for still sucks. I really don't know about this one. Like,
I'll come in front of you. It's a 2.
Yeah,
it's a 2 for me. Like I didn't completely hate it. Like I said before, I know for a fact, because I have done it. I have listened to more times than I want to admit on a recording here the first 4 songs of this album. I've listened to them loads because I think they're really, really fun, and they're great to. If you're on the treadmill, they're great to listen to. If you're playing a computer game where you have to kill a lot of cunts, it's great to listen to. But the rest of the album is a drop off, and for that, I can't say I hate it. But I wouldn't recommend anyone to listen to it, and I'll never listen to anything past track 4 again. So.
Yeah, that's 2 was what I was feeling. I think as well. Yeah, for me, it's just after that 4th song, it just. I mean, the cover I could maybe let that slide possibly. It's not the worst I've done, but it's not great either. And the rest just didn't work for me at all. Bit of a mess. Yeah. Let us know what you think if you've listened to the album. Drop us some comments below.
There's so much shit online about this.
Probably.
You picked the wrong band to like go after. And I just want to stress, like, Dave hated Golden Cobra. I thought it was a good album. But if you think Results May Vary is a good album, you're a fucking moron, right? So I'm putting that out there, right? There's some shit I'll eat. I will not eat shit on that album. That album is fucking bad.
Yeah. That's the review. Thanks for checking it out. Much appreciated. We'll be back with another review very soon. But until then, take care. Speak to you soon.
Bye, everyone.